the team? Just what was the biggest difference?
Well, you know what, Rob? I don't know. I didn't think that would be that kind of game. I really thought the game would be in the 60s with both ways, and because both, as you mentioned it. But you know, you think about it, they had I thought a pretty good offensive night too. We had better ball movement. I thought we played with more speed. I think we got to continue to play, and not just speed, getting the ball down the floor, speed in the half court, moving the ball, cutting, and we spread it out a little bit. And we, again, I thought for the most part we took open shots. And when we didn't, or when we got careless with the ball, they made us pay. But overall, it was just, again, we knew they would press. I think they kind of react to you if you're being aggressive against their little three-quarter court press. I think they back it up a little bit. If you're being tentative, they get hungrier and go after it. Then at the end of the game, when they're behind, we knew, I mean, they got to go. They got to come after it. And we just made some really poor decisions with the ball when we had a chance to really put the game away earlier. But give them credit because they're not going to stop playing.
Ryan, then Grant, then Mike.
Have you seen Josiah play as complete as a game in his 3 years?
I thought the way he got started offensively was one of his best games ever. I love the way he took the ball hard to the basket on that layup. I think he took maybe one dribble when he was in stride, maybe two, stretched out, made that layup. And, you know, Joe always gives you a good floor game. He got in foul trouble tonight, mainly because he was helping where we had breakdown from the perimeter, where he was when he was at the 4 some, and when we went with the small lineup. But we need him. We need him playing like that.
Is that aggressiveness on the offensive end as good as you've seen it this year tonight?
That's what. And again, that's what we've been wanting all year. We've been talking about playing with force, playing with speed, having that because we don't want to come down and have to grind it out. We don't want to put that much pressure on anybody, whether perimeter or post guys. And some teams are going to make you do it, but you can still play with speed, moving the ball, quickness, as opposed to getting in a big hurry. And when we get careless, like we did with some of those passes, it's careless. I can't say anything else about it. And it's when guys get sped up that shouldn't get sped up, especially in the post. I mean, they did exactly what we knew they would do, and I don't know why our post guys kept turning, thinking they're going to dribble the ball. We said, you're not going to be able to do that. And they held the ball to it. That's the one area that I did not think we would turn the ball over with tonight, because we had some action set up for that, and our post guys just had too many turnovers and there were people on the floor that they could have gotten it to.
On that note, did you like what Olivier gave you tonight, rebounding-wise, and then how nice to see Justin get in there and do what he did?
Again, and I told Justin, I told the people out there that are fans that, you know, Justin would play a lot more if he'd shoot the ball when he's open. Again, tonight he turned it over twice where he's too good a ball handler. But the first turnover he had in the game, he should have shot the ball as soon as it hit his hand. I mean, he was just like he came in, but those were two really big threes that he hit because they had gotten it down to 2 or 3, and those were big. And again, at the end of the game, we made a couple plays defensively too. Zakai made a couple there. Kennedy came up with some. Josiah's got his hands on a lot of balls tonight, and we need those deflections. But we've got guys. Again, one, it's hard to play at this level if you're casual. If you play casual, you're not going to be effective. You've got to play with intensity, knowing that you're playing against guys that are going to ball hawk. They're going to go after the ball, especially this team. We're getting ready to play against another one that's going to go after it and going to put a lot of pressure on you, not let you get too comfortable. So it gets back to valuing the basketball, and we felt going in tonight that if we would take care of the basketball, take open shots, and we could score some points, and we did.
Just with Olivier offensively, I mean, do you think it was a byproduct of him just not thinking a ton and just kind of going?
Absolutely, and when Olivier can shoot the ball, he's a really good mid-range player. But then I don't know why, after he gets it, he hesitates and he puts it down. Again, if you hesitate, again, you hesitate, they're coming to get the ball. They'll wait until you bounce, but if you hold it and then think, okay, now I'm going to go, they're just waiting on you. And then he's got to stop leaving his feet to pass the ball. He's got to get the ball over his head quicker when he wants to shoot it. But the more he plays, the better he's going to get, and the more he can be in those situations. Even at the end, I mean, again, I don't know why he jumped to throw that pass. I don't, because he can score the ball. He's a really good shooter, both inside the arc and outside the arc.
Coach, you talk about not dribbling too much and having good offensive spacing and moving the ball. 22 assists on 29 main field goals. What was the offensive mindset coming into tonight's game?
Well, that's when we're at our best, when the ball doesn't stick and we're really moving the ball, when we're getting it from side to side and getting movement. It's hard to guard. I mean, we talk about it ourselves in practice when we are playing at that clip. And then when we're sharing the ball like that, not having anyone that's a ball stopper, that's when we're going to be at our best. And tonight I thought again, other than some of those turnovers, we really played a nice game on the offensive end.
Hey, Coach, they trimmed that thing down to 60 to 59 there in the second half, and you guys responded with a 16-2 run. What changed?
Well, again, I think you can go back to our game Saturday. You know, the game's never over. And so if you relax, you get casual, it can close really quick. What I did like about our guys, they didn't flinch. You know, they responded. That's what I did like. But we did get casual when we got up, just, you know, leaving our feet to throw passes, just getting tunnel vision on certain things. But the fact is, I'm not sure what everybody else thinks, but when you've been in basketball as long as everybody has and played, the game is never over. I mean, and we should know that ourselves from Saturday. But the fact is, when we had to respond, we did.
Wait, not questions? Wes and Grant?
Rick, I know you sort of mentioned this a little bit earlier, but to score 90 points in a game where Santi only takes 8 shots and he's getting hounded a lot, but other guys are able to step up and do things. How big is that for the confidence of this team to do something like that?
Well, it is confidence. I think it helps when Olivier does what he does tonight. You know, and if John would get back to just being that simple, you know, if he's open, shoot the ball. If he would do that, I think the more balance we have with our team, we're going to be better. We don't have to rely on, say, the guards to go get it done all the time. And so if we'll just, again, guys will, I tell you, it really is as simple as doing what we ask you to do in practice and carrying it over to a game. Because I do think we put these guys in the right position to score. They've got to be ready to do it. And there's nothing wrong with taking a wide open 15, 17-foot shot. And that's what we want from them. That's what we want. And if they didn't, and we would tell them not to shoot it, but we haven't told guys. I mean, they're getting better at knowing when, even on the kick-out threes from offensive rebounds. I thought VJ made a great play, one of his best plays he's ever made. He had a chance to shoot a three. He tucked it and went and dunked the ball. And I tell you what, the last games before that, he would have shot that and not thought anything about it. And that's, again, we've told him since he's been here, he's more than just a spot-up shooter. He is. And the fact that he can go score the ball like that was huge. And the more we can get guys understanding what they're really good at, the better we'll be.
How important was it for Victor to carry over those last 5 minutes to Texas to having some energy tonight?
I think it was, Grant. Again, we're going to, I say it every game, we're going to need all those guys. We can't have anybody that's going to play. If they're lethargic, they're not going to play. And we know our guys. We know what they're going to bring to us. We know their body languages. We can read them just like you can read a book. And if we don't think they're locked in, we're not tuned in, we are going to go to the next guy. And we're hoping that guy's going to be ready. And by this time, when you're in February, if you're not ready to play every single night, you really don't deserve to play, because we've practiced enough, we've talked about it enough, and now you got to be ready or you can't play.
How pleasing was it to win the rebounding battle against a team that really prides itself on that?
It was important, and you go back. We knew it would be like that. You know, we started the game. Their first 2 threes came off offensive rebounds. One of them was alone. I don't think we could have got it even if we had a perfect blackout. But the next one we didn't. We saw 3 guys just turn, and they do a good job. They're not going to lay on your back. You know, they play hard. They're aggressive. They're well coached. They're not going to be, if you block it out, if you block them out and think they're just going to stop, they really slide off and go get it. They did that, and then. But overall, the fact that we were able to, I think we won it by 1 is key.
You guys had 2 turnovers out of timeouts or dead ball situations today. I think there were a couple at Texas as well. Why does that happen? I mean, is that just a lack of focus, or what does that go back to?
Yeah, I do think it's I think it's being casual. I think that it's being totally casual and understanding that every possession matters. They all matter. And you come out like at the end of the half, we call that timeout. The shot's got to get up, and you're not going to get it all the way to the rim against good teams. You know, and it's designed to get a 15-foot shot. If they collapse, we'll get a hammer or a kick out there. But if you think you're going to go to the basket and throw those inside drop-offs, it's not going to happen. And in that point in time, we had exactly what we wanted. We went for a 2-for-1 situation where we came down early, and remember Santi, Joe set a really nice fade and got Santi a great look with quick as 50-some seconds, and then we had what we wanted, but you got to get a shot. And, you know, it's those plays, you know, when we run things, you've got to come out like even there at the end when they give them credit for tying us up. But guys we talked about that today. You're going to have to make more than one cut when a team's desperate. They're not going to let you just make a simple little cut, get open, and nobody's going to ever be wide open. You got to know there's a window there that you've got to get it in, and if you don't, it's not getting in. But we've got to get better. I don't, as a staff, we don't like it when we come out of after timeouts and not execute, because that is the one time of the game you've got to have great execution.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you guys.
Hi guys, how y'all doing? I'm good. New year, new hair, you know? The headband came because of the hairstyle. My teammates told me I had to put it on, so I said, all right, I'll put a headband on. Thank you. Peer pressure. The good kind, though.
Olivier, you guys go from 51 points on Saturday to 90 tonight. What was the biggest difference in you guys' execution, you think?
I think a big part of it was that ending of the game on Saturday where we saw what we could do and how we could play with force and play with speed and attack. Not necessarily saying we want to shoot the ball early, just moving with speed, moving the ball, and playing with tremendous force and, you know, knowing what shots personally everybody can shoot.
Ben, Grant, Mike.
It seemed like tonight was one of your best all-around games. Would you agree with that? And what do you think led to you having success on both ends tonight?
I think I had a conversation with Coach Schwartz before we started, and he told me that you got to start building your identity, and you just got to start focusing on those certain things. And then on offense, you just got to understand that we want you shooting those open shots when they come to you, but we also want you to be one of our more physical players, rebounding, guarding, all around. And you know, every game I try to figure it out. I try to get better at it, and I try to find where my niche is, and I try to help my team in every way I can. Today I got some shots, and you know, I'll take my shots.
What do you want your identity to be?
I think I kind of want to follow in Joe's footsteps a little, to be honest. I kind of want to be that Swiss Army knife kind of guy where I do a little bit of everything, and I bring some physicality to the team.
Tonight was as aggressive as y'all looked on the offensive end, and I don't know how long did it feel that way?
Yes, I definitely think it felt that way, and like I said, I think that Texas game ending gave us a clear idea of how to kind of do it, and I think our best bet is to keep pushing this way.
You mentioned Josiah. I mean, how impressive was what he rolled out there and did today? I think he was 14, 8, and 5. I mean, defensively, rebounding, offensively, kind of did it all.
It's amazing. That's Joe, you know. That's what he does. That's what he's always done, and that's what we need him to do. And love to see it. Always get happy when you see it. You know, when Joe's smiling, everybody's smiling.
Olivia, kind of on that same vein there, I know that you and Josiah are probably two of the older, smarter guys on this team, and I'm sure you know that when both of y'all play well, the team usually plays really, really well. How do you, kind of, is that something you try to understand but not focus on it going into games, or because it just seems like when you and Josiah both play well, everything's different?
Yeah, I think me and Josiah have done a great job of helping each other. We talk to each other a lot. We pick each other up a lot. I think Josiah is one of the people that I talk to the most, like on the court about things, especially our mistakes. Like every time I do something he doesn't like, he'll tell me. Every time he does something I don't like, I'll tell him. And we've grown together, and I've gotten a chance to, for my first 2 years, to watch him play, learn from him, and then this year we're finally on the court a lot more together. And yeah, I feel like we have a team where somebody can always step up, and then there's certain people who have certain jobs to do. Whether or not me and Joe are scoring points, we need to understand that our impact isn't only on the offensive end. It's mainly actually on the defensive end because of the type of players that we are and because we're versatile players. And then on the glass, me and Joe need to be some of our best rebounders, especially at that 4 spot where we kind of have to come in, come out. Joe is more on that 3 spot, but where we're, moving on the court and not just really sitting in the paint. Like we have to be aggressive, attacking the glass on offense and defense from different locations. And I think when we're doing that, we're helping us. And then when me and Joe are able to focus on those things, usually we have good games.
Everybody good at Olivia? Go ahead, Ben. Last one.
Texas A&M is really good with offensive rebounds. Just what it take for you all tonight to somewhat contain them, and I think y'all won the rebounding battle by 1.
Just to focus on it, we put a lot of emphasis. I mean, they came in here my freshman year and got, like you said, they're a great rebounding team and got 23 of them. So, you remember those things, and then you know that you can't let something like that happen again, because that's how you lose games. So you just lock in. And, every game, there's certain things you have to lock in on a little more than you might have for another game. And you just have to adapt and adjust and do what you got to do.
Thank you, Olivia.
Thanks, Olivia. Thank you, guys. Have a great night. You got my number? All right. Yeah.
Don't let that fall.
Appreciate you being concerned about it. Go ahead, Ralph.
Joe, same thing I asked Olivier. 51 points to 90 points in 72 hours. What's the biggest difference?
Wait, what are those stats?
51 at Texas, 90 points.
Yeah. I feel like we found our groove in the last 6-7 minutes of that Texas game. Coach really put an emphasis on us just playing fast and getting our groove on offense because, like I said, I think our defense will be with us night in and night out. It's just our inconsistencies on offense, and so we just tried to learn from what we did in that short period of time at Texas and just try to put it on display today.
Mike, Ben, and Grant.
Josiah, what's Olivier like off the court? Is he as analytical and kind of thoughtful and processing like he is with us in here?
Olivier does not stop talking. That's one thing I've figured out, and you just got to let him be him. He's very knowledgeable. He's very smart and intellectual. But yeah, he loves to ramble and rant. And once he gets started, he doesn't stop. But like he said, we're really close. This whole team is a close-knit group, but me and Olivier especially, I feel like we've definitely grown. We've been through the ups and downs of for the past 3 years here, and so he knows he can lean on me, I can lean on him, and outside of my roommates, I probably spend the most time at his house where him and VJ stay. But yeah, off the court, Olivier, he's a very talkative person who lets you know that he likes to talk.
Josiah, it seemed like you were as locked in as ever to start the game, and then kind of talking some mess after that block shot there in the second half. Just what was your mindset coming into the game tonight?
Just trying to win the game. Just trying to be as locked in as possible on both ends of the floor. Offensively, I just try to take open shots and do what my teammates asking me, coaches asking me. And the shots were falling, thankfully, and some games, thankfully, they're like that. Not so good. I got 2 quick fouls early in the first half, but I wasn't really upset because I knew whoever was coming in, there would be no let off on both ends of the floor, so I wasn't too frustrated, just a little bit mad at myself, but I had ultimate faith in my guys because I knew I wasn't going to get back in. That's coach's rule. But yeah, I just tried to win the game.
The way you closed at Texas and the way y'all played offensively tonight, do you think this is something that's repeatable, easily repeatable? Y'all see how it clicks now or works?
nothing in SEC basketball is easy, so it's all tough. But yeah, I definitely do think it's repeatable. But it's going to take a lot of diligence. It's going to take a lot of mental toughness, physical toughness. But that's what great teams do. They come in and night out, and they can rely on both ends of the floor on their offense and their defense. And so for us to we talk about where we want to go, what we want to win, and what we want to achieve, we'll have to repeat this night in and night out.
Zach and Mike.
Josiah, you kind of just touched on it just there, but you guys haven't dropped 2 games in a row here this year. Why do you think that is?
Just learning from our losses. You can always learn something from each game, especially the losses, and we can learn from this game tonight as well. We turned the ball over 17 times, but I just think that we do a good job of bouncing back. We don't hold our heads. Coach doesn't let us get too down on ourselves, and then the guys in that locker room, they're hungry for more, and so when we lose, it leaves a bad taste in our mouth, and we're just prepared to work and then just showcase what we've gotten better at the next game.
How nice was it to see Justin step in there and make those shots? And it seems like, in the course of the past few games, a lot more guys are settling into their roles, like VJ Jemai. Is that what you guys are seeing on this team too?
Yeah, definitely. Guys are coming in practice and getting better, getting a lot better. I think if you saw our practices a couple months ago to our practices now, we know our roles. We know what people are supposed to do, specifically offensively, and people are finding their roles and succeeding at that. I was really happy for Justin because early in the game it seemed Coach got on him for passing up a couple shots that kind of led to not so good plays. And so in the second half, I always tell him to shoot the ball every time he sees the rim. And everybody, all of his teammates, all of us always tell him that. And we're always harping that to him. And so to see those 2 big shots go in at a crucial time in the game, I was so happy for him, and I'm just proud of him.
Weston Troy.
Just how important was it for y'all as a team to go out there and score 90 points in a game where Santi only takes 8 shots? I mean, I know that he's a guy who he gets a lot of attention from defenses. He gets a lot of double teams, things like that. For y'all playing like that as a team, is that something that can make defenses think twice about that?
Yeah, I mean, I really feel bad for Santi because he gets game plan really, really tough for. But that's the type of player he is. He loves the challenge, and he's always willing to step up to the challenge. But I think us as his teammates and the people who are out there on the court with him, we have to alleviate some of that pressure by being able to put the ball in the basket for sure. And, there's going to be nights where teams just try to take him out, and he knows that. And so we have to do a better job. And I think we did a really good job of putting the ball in the basket. And he didn't really have to take many shots.
Josiah, Olivier said that he wants his identity as a player to be similar to the one you have. What does it mean to you to hear something like that? And also, how important is it to kind of live up to that standard and kind of be a role model in that regard?
It means a lot. I know it means a lot that my teammates look up to me as a leader, as somebody they aspire to play like. That just makes me more hungry, makes me want to be better. I think all of our guys are like that. We know our roles, but we push each other day in and day out. If it's the guards playing against other guards or the posts playing against other posts, I think we get better in practice, and day in and day out we push each other. But for him to say something like that, it means a lot because it just does. I don't know. I can't put it into words, but yeah, it just means a lot coming from him. Yeah.
Hey, Josiah, a quick follow-up on that. How do you help Olivier grow his game? And then what did you think about his performance tonight? Do you think it's one of his most complete games he's played this season?
Olivier was great tonight. He's had a couple really good games throughout the entire season. So yeah, it was a really good game for him. I can't say it was his most complete game, but he was just doing what we all know he's capable of. Olivier is a really talented basketball player. Sometimes he gets in his own way. He did for 2 years. He'll admit that he just wasn't willing to be coached for a while. But this summer, he's kind of cracked that, and he's seeing the fruits of his labor night in and night out. And I'm just proud of him because of how mature he's become and how much he's grown.
Josiah, thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. or no better than I think. Better